Chapter 3, Lesson 2, Day 4, Heat Island Climates. To start, go to where you normally keep your Chapter 3 warm-up and notes, and just like normal, copy down the questions here and answer them. You may want to pause the video as that may take you a couple minutes. In 2003, we saw a huge worldwide tragedy. Temperatures were soaring, specifically in areas that were highly populated, large megacities like we talked about back in the population unit. Shanghai, Paris, London, all parts of Europe recorded the highest temperatures that they had had in hundreds of years. And it wasn't just uncomfortably hot, it was leading to deaths. The elderly and the sick were not able to stay cool enough in order to survive and ended up dying by the hundreds of thousands. After this happened, scientists started to investigate the cause and discovered an effect that's happening on our planet called the heat island effect. This lesson is going to talk about the heat island effect. To start, you're going to read a reading that describes exactly what's going on, where it's happening, and why it's happening. Go ahead and pull that reading out that you got from me yesterday. Now that you have the reading out, your first step is to copy these vocab and definitions down on the back side of the reading where you have the actual questions for the article. You may want to pause the video here so that you can take some time to do that. Now, based on what you read, fill in this graphic organizer. What is the main issue here? What are the three causes? And what are the three possible solutions, one for each cause? You can get this all from the reading. Again, you may want to pause the video here as you go ahead and do that. All right, these are your notes. So you should be back at warm-up and notes. And we're going to start with just a simple definition of a heat island. A heat island is a pocket of heat around dense cities that causes the climate of the larger city to be higher than its surrounding neighboring areas. We first started noticing this after the 2003 crisis by looking at infrared pictures of the planet and noticed that there's literally a bubble of heat around cities with tall buildings and a high density of individuals living there. We think that there are several causes to this. The first is the black concrete in the roofs. They absorb the radiation from the sun and release it back into the atmosphere right around that city. The second is the presence of all those tall buildings. They keep all that heat in and keep the wind from blowing it out into the surrounding area the same way that it would if it was in the suburban areas. Another major issue that causes this are the increased use of air conditioning. And this is kind of counterintuitive because you think to yourself air conditioning decreases the temperature of an area. And it does, but only for the internal area. Anywhere outside of where an air conditioner is being used is actually being heated up because that air conditioner generates thermal energy in cooling down the outside. If you're in a big city and you walk by those air conditioners that are stuck in people's windows, you'll be able to feel this. You'll feel a gust of warm air come out at your face as you try to walk by it. And last but not least, there's not a whole lot of moisture in cities because that concrete is trapping the moisture in the ground. If the moisture got up into the air, it would help stabilize it. It would absorb a lot of that energy, like we learned about water heats faster or water heats slower than land. So that would keep the area from heating up quite as fast, but we don't have that because all the moisture is trapped in the soil beneath the concrete. So now comes for the critical thinking part of all of this. Before you just had to read and regurgitate what it said on that. Now you have a last part. And it asks you to think about what the greater consequences of all of this is. I know it says SCAD in Berkeley here, but for you, because we're not going to be doing it in the team activity, it just says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you should answer all of these. I want you to think about how this affects each of the different issues that are listed here and answer that. How will heat pockets affect our comfort? I mean, we already talked about that a little bit with the 2003 heat crisis. How will heat pockets affect our energy usage in the summer and our energy usage in the winter? So go ahead and fill all of those in, and when you're done with that, you are officially done with the lesson and you are ready to turn this sheet in on Wednesday when you come back. I will see you guys then, and I hope you had a good time in third period. Bye!